all the way into December the 20th. And of course, as we speak today, we're 5 days left until Christmas, and I know everybody's getting excited. And of course, this show is brought to you by Alabama Real Estate Connection, for locations on South Brundage Street in Troy, and of course, brand new location. I want to say hello to my good friends over at Hook's Barbecue this morning. Of course, they're excited about the coming season, and what better gift could you give than a gift card from Hook's Barbecue right here in Troy? Say, hey, give me a $25 gift certificate and I'll buy a bunch of barbecue. And of course, it is a wonderful place to buy barbecue right here in our town. Of course, the Camp Stew, best deal in Troy, Alabama. A whole quart for $8. You can't beat it. And of course, those delicious pound cakes baked by Hook's Barbecue are just $13 a piece plus tax, and they are delicious. And of course, again, a lot going on in our community as we head toward Christmas. And of course, our show is brought to you by Bancorp South, located on Highway 231. I saw Dale Taylor the other day, and they're of course ending another great year at Bancorp South. And also our good friends at Bearfields in downtown Ozark, one of the great men's clothing store, women's clothing store you'll find anywhere. Mind you of Rosenberg's back many years ago in Troy, where you had a first quality man and women's store under one roof. That's in downtown Ozark, Bearfields. And of course, they've been around a long time. They gift wrap, they tailor all your clothing to make sure they fit, and it's just a wonderful place to do business with in downtown Ozark, just a short drive. I want to say good morning to my good friend Sam Judah this morning at Circle Insurance in downtown Ozark, and they've been a strong supporter of our show for a long time. Okay, we've got a lot going on. Of course, this place is still buzzing because of a wonderful victory in the New Orleans Bowl. And now, what is left? And a good article in the Montgomery Advertiser today, what are the 5 biggest questions facing the Trojans of Troy as they lose a lot of good football players going into next year? Well, let me just say this. Let's just enjoy what we got till the first of the year, and then we'll start talking about what Troy's going to have to do to be another outstanding football team in 2018. I think we've set ourselves up well for 2018 season, Coach Neil Brown said, after a big victory in New Orleans, because so many young players played well, and there are a lot of young players on that football team that will take over for the guys that will be departing by way of graduation. But again, Troy coming off a 11-2 season, last year 10-3. You couldn't ask for a better group of guys to follow the leader. And of course, I know there are a lot of young Troy graduates or guys ready to come back for next year to even improve even more on an outstanding football season. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Mark Amos, Bud, Luverne. How you
Bud out here in Luverne, Alabama. Good to hear from you, Bud. How's everything going?
Oh, things going great. How about with you?
Great, man. It couldn't be any better as far as what my football teams have done so far. Then we got to see what Alabama's going to do.
Well, that's true. They took a big loss Monday when Dylan Mosley
I know it.
re-injured his foot. And of course, we expect to have some linebackers back since we got the long layover for about a month, to have some of them back. But he was to play a key role in Bama's defensive scheme against Clemson.
Of course, he was a young player that was considered the finest linebacker in the country coming out of high school, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is. That's the brother of C.J. Mosley, and
yeah,
he's a good athlete, young athlete, got a lot of playing time starting with the Mississippi State game. But talking about what Troy's got to do, I just want to remind you that today is the early signing date for National Letter of Intent in college football.
Yeah, I know it, and I hadn't heard anything about commitments much from Alabama, Auburn, or Troy. What do you think?
Let me give you a little update. You know, everything comes down. You can sign this. You know, you can sign the limit today if you want to. I looked yesterday afternoon on some college stuff, and right now on ESPN.com, they got Bama ranked right now at 8th, and got Auburn at 7th. Right now, if that means anything, and of course the top 2 recruiting colleges right now are Georgia and Ole Miss, Ohio State. Of course,
wait a minute, Georgia. Now you didn't mean to say Ole Miss, did you?
No, I meant to say Ohio State.
Okay, I got you.
Ohio State won, Georgia 2 right now.
All right.
Those type of things matter, which they really don't, because you know as well as I do, you get a 4 or 5 star ball player, and you find out what his worth is 2 or 3 years down the road. He may pan out be the best thing since sliced bread. Then again, he may falter, not be worth his weight in gold. So you know as well as I do, that really doesn't mean anything, but that is the vital blood of a college program.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, Bud, tell us some guys out there that you think are going to be big commitments today.
Well, Bama's got a big. They looking real strong at some. They got a wide out from Texas that's committed to them. They've got a quarterback that Auburn and both of them are looking back. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. Right now they got early June they had 5 commitments, but what they got right now, they've got a tight end coming out of Westminster Christian there and around. I think that school's around Birmingham. They're looking at a couple cornerbacks that have committed from Florida. They got a junior college kid from Mississippi College that transferred from LSU into there. They got to look at him. They got a Brandon Cox defensive end, but they've got several hopefuls right now. And what the thing is now, Mike, is that Bama may come in 8th, 9th right now, but there's still plenty. Coach Saban and that group don't want to land them all in one day. That they want to wait and feel like they're in the February signing date that they've got enough to be a top 2 or 3.
But how does this work? This is the first time ever that we've had 2 drafts. How does it work now? You go ahead and you can sign a guy now, and he's yours, and then you can't sign it. He can't leave you again in February, can he?
Well, no, he can't re-sign. If he signs a dotted line today, it's a 1-year commitment, just like they used to do in February. If he signs, you could go ahead and you're allotted 25, but some teams hold back and gray shirt. But anyway, let's just say there's 25. You can go ahead and get your total limit today and not sign anybody in February. But whoever signs today, it's just like a firm agreement that he's yours. He can't sign with you today and say too much down the road, I don't want to go to Alabama and sign with, say, LSU or Auburn. He could, but there'd be some ramifications there. But it's just like it's a binding contract for 1 year when they sign today, just like they do the first Wednesday in February.
I know Saban is really against this, and probably rightfully so, because he usually gets his pick. But what is the reasoning behind all this? What's the deal?
Really, it's been clamored for years to have an early signing date, and I feel like some of this is because of going ahead and signing folks may have something to do with, Coach Saban has played for championships since he's been there at Alabama. He does not like a lot of kids not giving, especially talk about kids not giving 110%, not wanting to get hurt in January ball games.
That's right.
Waiting for the pro draft. I think maybe this has a little something to do with that.
I'll tell you who will benefit is people like Troy, who they could go ahead and sign a kid, and what happens a lot of times, he moves in, like it was into February. These kids got so much time to change their mind about things. These big guys like the Alabama Auburns and the LSUs have time to say, well, we might have missed our boat on him. Let's go ahead and sign him out from under Alabama them. So it should benefit people like Troy, doesn't it? Don't you think?
I think so. Teams like Troy, South Alabama, Middle Tennessee State, and those type of schools, I think they should benefit there because they're going to feel slighted and that kind of stuff. I think you're correct there. But let me say this, and
Cristobal, remember what a great recruiter he was?
He's the coach at Oregon now. He was a great recruiter, and you know and then you lose your strength coach, Scott Cochran, to Tennessee.
Wait a minute, Scott Cochran's going to Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Let him go. He's just a cheerleader.
He is. You know.
He was a great cheerleader.
You know, and Coach Saban loves it, and we all sit back and wonder when is Coach Saban going to retire, like when Coach Bryant did. You know, but he won championships in '78 and '79, national championships, and won the Southeastern Conference, and I think '80 or '81. But it's going to come to a point in time, Mike, where these coaches are going to start using the retirement just like they did back in the day with Coach Bryant. He's not going to be there for your final 4 years. He's going to leave. He's going to do this. And they'll start using that type of recruitment to get some of these ball players the older Coach Saban gets and the longer he stays at Alabama. I just feel like maybe, and I'm just throwing it out there, if he wins a championship this year and losing some of the recruiting coordinators and coaches that have been on his staff, he may give strong consideration. Not saying he will, but he may give strong consideration retirement if they win the national championship this coming season.
But I don't know, Bud. He's one of these guys that the word is ego. It could be, just work fanatic. It could be a lot of things. But I don't see him leaving until he dies, to tell you the truth.
Well, he may
I can't see, unless he goes into pro coaching or broadcasting or something. I mean, I think he just was made to be a football coach, and that's all he knows.
He was, and you may be right, but Coach Bryant always throwed out the line that, Coach, when you gonna retire, when you gonna quit? And he made the comment, if I give up coaching, I'll be dead. I'll croak.
That's right. That's right.
Sure enough, it was right there.
Exactly right.
He retired last ball game December the 29th, and he died January 26th. So. Coach may do it, but I don't know that. One other thing, Lane Kiffin yesterday signed a 10-year deal with Florida Atlantic.
Yeah. What kind of money was that? What kind of money can they pay him?
They hadn't reported, and they got a big win last night in their win over Akron.
Yeah. What was that final score?
When I quit watching, it was like 28-3 in the third
quarter.
Oh
yeah. It wasn't even close, I know.
No, it wasn't close. They play good defense. And I think right now Lane is where he needs to be to not only the 3 years at Bama, but now to get back on solid ground and maybe in a couple of 3 years get a big program. And but I'm gonna say this and let you go. I almost did not recognize Terry Bowden on the sideline.
Yeah,
he has really, you understand what I'm saying?
Had he lost or gained weight?
He's gained weight and he's just as gray-headed as you are.
I know it. And you're right. He has gained a lot of weight, and still a pretty good football coach to have brought that team into the bowl games.
Good coach. I agree with that, and I'm interested to see later on this week what UAB does in their bowl game. And there was some talk yesterday about your national coach of the year, and I think Coach Clark in that ramification there. Come in like 6th overall. You had Dabo Sweeney, Kirby Smart, and I can't remember Scott Frost got the national coach of the year. But listen, let me tell you something. Maybe not that he should have won it, but I think Coach Clark should have been higher up on the ladder than 6th with what he done at UAB and where he's put that program today. After 2 years of not having football, he's done the right thing and does the right thing and just got that program. And that's another young coach. And Coach Clark, I feel like after 2 or 3 years with what he's done at UAB, will get a...
No question about it. No question about it. And, of course, everybody says that the top guy out there is our guy. Have you heard that?
I have.
A lot of people say that the guy out there with the most potential to be the next great young coach is Troy's own Neil Brown. And,
you're right.
And that's a compliment not only to Coach Brown, but to Troy.
Right, exactly. Be a big loss to the university, to the Troy community, and when I say community, I just don't mean Troy, Alabama itself. There are several.
But hopefully, and I'm trying to cross my fingers, but hopefully we got him for at least another year.
I think so. I think right now all the coaches
right, Bud, I appreciate it. Listen, Bud, the thing is, will Troy benefit from this early recruiting time? I'd say yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
And then the Alabama and Auburns will just, you know, they're going to get who they want anyway, don't you think?
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's what I started to say, Coach. They're going to get whoever they want with the programs the way they are and the seasons that they've had. They're going to get whoever they want, but there's going to be one or two that falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
And days like today, Troy may be one of those teams to reap the benefits. Listen, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, Bud, I want you to come over and see us one morning and let me take you for breakfast, Bud. I've never laid eyes on Bud, ladies and gentlemen. At least I don't think I have. Is that right, Bud?
That's correct. That's correct, Coach. But we'll do that maybe after the first of the year. I'll get something lined up and we'll go from
That'd be
there.
a lot of fun, man. Enjoyed hearing from you. And, hey, I hope you'll call again tomorrow.
We'll do it. Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Bud from Luverne, and I think you'll agree with me very well, very knowledgeable. And, of course, our great sponsors out there, Jean's Flowers for Christmas. Jean's Flowers for Christmas. What better place could you go to shop for Christmas at Jean's Flowers right here on South Brundage Street? And they've been here for years, and quality, and they can send flowers all over this country. I want to mention also today is Sisters located on Highway 231 South. Remember, you got to go ahead and order from Sisters. Let me go ahead and double check this real quick this morning. From Sisters. First of all, how do you pronounce Sisters? Is it Sisters or Sisters? Located on Highway 231 South. And of course, Pat and Geraldine are my good friends. Call them today at 566-0054, and I think you got Sisters. Sisters Restaurant, hopefully. Of course, Sisters is open today starting at 11 o'clock. Is this Sisters? Oh boy. There we go. Good morning, and you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Mike, this is Max. How you doing?
Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi. Is that right, Max? Or what town do you, what is your alias?
Yeah, I'm in Fulton this morning, getting ready for the holidays.
And of course, great football season, and I know you were tickled with Troy.
I certainly was. Probably the best game I've seen up to now, Mike. I really do. I thought they did extremely well. Well coached, well prepared. They started a little slow, but 22-20 at halftime, but second half all belonged to Troy. They made the statement.
Boy, all you had to do is just open your eyes and see players after players after players. Troy was loaded, don't you think?
Oh, I don't think he's into that. I think now the biggest challenge, obviously, is to rebuild now.
Yes, exactly, and that's what we've been talking about. Where does Troy go from here?
Right, and 12 or 15 seniors off that team. I think 5 or 6 of them are NFL players. They go on. Certainly, Coach Brown started his recruiting today, started signing period today, and they'll have to replace a lot of those guys.
You know, Max, you know, you go through and you beat the 19th ranked offensive team in the country, came in there, and I thought Troy controlled them pretty well, didn't you think?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. And to me, it was a lot of difference, Mike, just from a fan standpoint, to look at the different talent level. Troy was way more talented than North Texas. I mean, they just had bigger, better players, and I thought better coached. I think they made the adjustments better. I really think the defensive front controlled North Texas. The quarterback must have been sacked at least 5 or 6 times.
Exactly.
They couldn't. You know, they didn't have to run 7 or 8 through there. They did it with their front 4.
Yeah, that's right. When you can do that, you got a good shot at somebody, don't you? If you can whip them with your front.
Yeah, if you can control it with your front, then that's what Troy did. Like I said, I thought from really starting they played well the first half, but not as well. I thought they really were refined that second half. They knew exactly where the weaknesses were, and they attacked them from the offense to the defense, and that defense just stood out, and they shut them down.
I tell you, you know, it's not enough superlatives can you give our defensive coordinator and the job he's done. And you know, after it's all over with, it's just like everywhere. All these coaches start heading to different directions, but you know, more power to them. The way I look at it, that's what it's all about. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think that the stability right now that's been Troy, and I'm sure Neil had a chance to talk to some people, but it looks like right now that's going to stay pretty stable. And to me, Mike, and here's the thing, and you know this through the years, and I was asked the other day about it. Well, you know, once a guy gets there, you know, he probably wants to move on. The challenge is to keep a program like Troy, you know, get there and stay there. It's a lot harder to stay there than it is to get there.
Exactly.
But everybody's taking a shot at you there.
Yeah. I would say this, after bonuses and everything, we might be looking at Troy's first $1 million man, wouldn't you think?
Well,
hey, I know that they admitted it. I know.
He's earned it. I'm kidding you.
Yeah, I know it.
He has actually earned that, and you know, I don't have any regrets about a guy that puts the performance on the field, and then you compensate him for it. And I think Neil's earned it.
And I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just throwing that out. But hey, if there's a $1 million man out there that's not getting $1 million yet, he's one that, like you said, will be one of the first on the list, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, he does. Look, they've done a really good job there, Mike. He manages the program. They recruit well. You can see the evidence on the field on Saturday about the improvement week in and week out. And they had that one little hiccup on a Wednesday night.
That's right, against South Alabama.
Yeah, they'd have had almost a perfect record.
You know, they would have had a chance to be actually playing in one of these New Year's Eve games, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah.
Or New Year's Day games.
Yeah, I think so.
If they would have won that game, what I was saying.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, and Neil stepped up and took the blame. If you recall about that, he said the kids were riding the high, beating LSU, and that's the human nature part. And then they had to play midweek, and that was a televised game. I understand all that. But had they had a couple more days to get them down and get them more refined, they'd have never lost to South Alabama.
No question about it. You know, we lose Coach Kenny Edenfield, who has, you know, played here and coached here for the last 8 to 10 years. Of course, he goes with Coach Campbell, who is a former teammate at Troy, who got the South Alabama job. So we lose our co-offensive coordinator, but we know, all of us know who actually was calling the plays, and that was Neil Brown. Don't you agree?
Okay. Oh, yeah. He brought the offense with him, and he took what some was there, but he'd been there before, Mike. Remember,
that's right.
Larry developed that offense and used it along, and he took what he got at Kentucky and at Texas Tech with Tuberville, and he refined it there. But here's the one: the guy that made that offense work was Brandon Silvers.
Oh yeah.
You know, they had a solid running game with that, and that's what he has to replace now, a quarterback that can pull the trigger on that offense.
And Max, I know you've looked at it, and a lot of other people have looked at it. As far as I'm concerned, Brandon Silvers can play in the pros. He looked like a pro quarterback to me, didn't he? You?
He did. I love the little read option where he rides the tailback in and throws a slant pattern. That just tickles me.
A lot of that's just almost impossible to stop once you do.
It is.
You know, something like that.
It is, Mike. Yeah, because you're going to squeeze the linebacker, see, and particularly if the cornerback plays that man on the outside, on the wide side of the field, that slant pattern's wide open, and they took advantage of it all night long.
Max Howell, ladies and gentlemen, very well known for his ability to not only coach football, but to analyze football. Of course, is on our show, and we appreciate him so much coming on and bringing a lot of credibility to our show with his knowledge. And of course, we're happy to have him this morning. Of course, we lose Coach Edenfield. There's a young coach named Levi Brown that's one of the former Troy quarterback coach that I think would be a guy that could walk right in and help fill one of those positions.
Yeah, I don't think it's in doubt. He played there. He understands.
And gosh, he's such a great kid too. Everybody just loves him.
Yeah, he's been on that staff. I think that'd be a very smooth transition. Of course, all that kind of stuff, Mike, as you know from us, we get it from the outside looking in.
Exactly.
Neil Brown sitting in that point. He knows what guys, really can communicate with the players. He understands which guys understand what he wants taught. A lot of little things like that sometimes goes into those selections that we as a fan never get a chance to see or hear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a man on our phone right now that can probably answer as many questions about this early signing period as anybody. Max has been there not only as a great recruiter, but has studied recruiting in college football for many years. What is your opinion of this early signing period, Max?
Well, here's the deal, Mike. They make so much to do, but they used to have an early signing period. I came out of high school in 1957, and they had a signing period up until the late 70s. So, I mean, it's really no deal. Here's the thing. The confusion is coming from a lot of coaches that, in my opinion, that includes Coach Saban at Alabama, probably didn't take the time to really study the calendar about that. All they're going to have to do is just move everything back about 6 months. That's why you got recruiting coordinators. That's why you have people that work in the office off the field to maintain that. I don't see a big problem with it. I know for the first year there's going to be some transition problems. I understand that. But the fact is, two things it does, Mike. It alleviates a lot of push at the end for kids that may not have made up their mind.
That's right.
And I'm at Troy or Alabama or wherever, and I want this kid. He's got 2 or 3 offers. This is going to make them make up their mind real early.
This is going to help people like Troy, don't you think? That because the longer the guy stays out there, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, some of those guys are going to change their mind and say, well, let's go ahead and take this guy.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And here's the thing that my thinking in the observation. There are 2 kinds that will sign today. The ones that are totally committed to that school because of their parents or their friends or their local community or whatever that's tied to that school. He's always wanted to go there. That's the first kid. The second kid is the one that's tied to the coach. The guys that were committed to Mississippi State, to Dan Mullen, now following him to Florida.
Exactly.
System, and they like that. Now the others, you got a choice. You can either sign today or between now and Friday, or you can sit back and wait till February.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really no big decision except with the kids' part, and to me it lessens the problem the schools have because half the kids are going to sign today anyway.
And you'll know how committed these guys are. Those that sign today are totally committed, aren't they?
Absolutely right. That's, to me, that's the strongest point right there, Mike, right there.
And it wasn't that long ago since the high school playoffs, and of course you called every one of them, were played, and there were a lot of kids that blossomed in the recruiter's eyes just only last week. There are a lot of new faces out there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it did. It opened my eyes, Mike, and I've been around the game a long time, you know that. But it did. I saw some play.
I mean, how about the quarterback from Evergreen? Who had watched him play,
Very few, that's true. But, Mike, here's the thing. The young players that jumped on the recruiting list now, the 9th and 10th graders that they had a chance to see play, in particular the 2A and 3A level.
Yeah.
That made some noise that the coaches may have been to practice at the schools or may have looked at a tape during the year and he didn't stand out. You put him in a championship environment and he stands out, that kid goes on my list now for next year.
And, it's just like anything, I reckon, the longer you got a brand new car that's loaded with everything on it, that car looks better and better and better every day, and that's sort of the way recruiting is. Some of these guys that are leaning toward Troy might get snapped up by an Alabama and Auburn because Troy showed so much interest in them. A football player is a football player, isn't he?
Yeah, he might, but here's the thing that I heard Coach Saban say, and of course we use him as the model because he said the number 1 player in the country for 7 or 8 years in a row. He says, what if, and this is his point, just what you said. He said, what if a kid out here is being recruited by, he didn't mention Troy, but by a smaller school, and we may have him down on the list, and we lose the number 1 or number 2 kid we want, we're going to jump to him, and he's already gone.
Yeah.
Because he goes to Troy. Say, well, you know what? That's not the kid's fault. That's the program that didn't recruit him very well.
That's right.
To start with. See, so I mean, I think I can pick the people that are not in favor of this. I think I can pick their reason apart pretty quick.
Yeah. So you can understand the early signing period, and the hike, and but don't you see that it benefits the mid-level teams more than it does the big guys?
it does, because the kids that are going to go, here's what, let's just say a kid coming to Troy is being heavily recruited, and he may have gotten a letter from Alabama or Clemson or Auburn or somewhere like that, and Troy's been on him all along. Well, does he take this, that contract in his hand and sign that commitment letter right down a day, or does he take his chance and wait, and then somebody else come along and bump him off, in February? So I think there is the kids' opportunity to go ahead and say, yes, I'm going. Troy's been good to me. They recruited me heavy. They know I'm wanted there. I can play there right away. I'm going to Troy.
Yeah. That is a big question. Do you want to play right now, or do you want to go to Alabama and Auburn and wait 1 or 2 years to play? And that is very true, isn't it?
Very true.
And this goes all the way to 4 stars and 5 stars. The great player wants to play right now. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter where you are, but people used to use the excuse, well, if you go to Troy, you'll never be seen. That is garbage.
No, that is garbage.
And I've heard it. Well, Alabama and Auburn not going to have any trouble. They're going to get there because everybody in the country knows where they are.
They're all looking at the same people. Don't you agree?
They are. I'm telling you, Mike, and I'm sitting right there watching the national TV show 2 nights ago, and Troy was mentioned on that national show, mainly because they elevated their program. They beat LSU. They've made a lot of noise around the country.
It all goes way back when they, and of course you know this well. When they went to the 25-man rule, that you can only sign 25 players, and you look at all the thousands and thousands of players in the state of Florida alone, or Alabama or Georgia, everybody's going to have players. Mercer's going to have players.
They do. That's very true, Mike. That's helped the mid-level schools more than anything else. That the other guys, when I came out, Coach Bryant was there, Coach Sheridan at Auburn, and all. They signed the numbers just to keep them from going somewhere else.
Oh, Alabama, Coach Bryant was bad about signing quarterbacks, as many as he could, so he wouldn't go to Auburn or Tennessee or somewhere like that. They wanted to make sure the real great athletes were at Alabama.
That's exactly right. How many quarterbacks end up playing offensive tackle?
Exactly.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
We were talking the other day about some of these players that were great players at Alabama, but they never got to play, because of the...
Joe Kelly came out as a perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
He could have gone anywhere in the country he wanted to. He wanted to go to Alabama, though.
Have you ever heard the name Benny Rippetoe out of Memphis, Tennessee? Was one of the great players of all time in that part of the country. Came to Alabama, never played a down. But Bear made sure Tennessee wasn't going to get him. And what I'm saying, he could have started for Tennessee, started for Auburn, or anywhere,
That's true. And now, today, the numbers prohibit that from happening. And that's good for the sport, Mike. That's very good for the sport.
Of course, Max, this has got to be the best time of the year for a guy like you that loves football and loves to analyze what's going on. And, of course, I see Alabama got another linebacker hurt. This Moses kid's hurt. Hey, you better be at full strength when you play Clemson, because, one thing about Clemson that all these other teams won't do, Clemson will hit you in the mouth more than once.
Yeah, they'll do that. The good thing is that I think the quarterback situation is not quite as good. Deshaun Watson was a super.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what beat Alabama.
Without Watson, that Alabama wins that game 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Exactly, no doubt about that, Mike. And they should have won it anyway. They had an error on the corners out there on the pick pattern. I mean, we've talked about that before.
Since that play, Max, I've seen it called more than I've ever seen it called. Since Saban made those officials or whoever never forget the call they called against Alabama.
Absolutely right.
How many times, even in the Auburn game, you saw it? Do you remember that?
Yep. Absolutely, I do. And that was a mistake. It happened. The official, made the call. Alabama loses. I can tell you though, Mike, that one clip is being shown to this football team 1,000 times.
I bet.
Last month, because they won't let one play like that cost them a ball game anymore.
if there's going to be a war out there, now don't get me wrong, you know, these other bunch, Oklahoma and of course Georgia's pretty darn good, but if there's going to ever be a war in college football, a almost fist fight, it's going to be between Alabama and Clemson. Don't you agree?
I don't think there's any doubt.
I mean,
to me, Alabama holds the edge for one reason, but they were beaten last year.
Yeah.
And they're getting in, not being the conference champion, and they play in New Orleans. I think all of those three things right there, to me, gives Alabama somewhat of a little edge. And I know Clemson's coming to play, don't get me wrong. And they, you know, that's probably it's going to be 60 points over and under scored in that ball game.
Yeah.
I like Alabama in a close one. I think they do that. And I'll be honest with you, I think the team that's the best out there offensively is Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Alabama have to really work hard if they beat Clemson and then to come back and win the championship.
But you know, Max, you know this better than anybody I know, is that it's hard to throw the ball when you're laying on your back. Have you ever heard that scenario?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and last time they played Oklahoma, I believe that's the way it was. You know where, and of course, I think they got, though, the more you look at it, I think they got the best 4 teams in there. Only team that you know, because Ohio State was not consistent enough on defense. Do you agree?
Right. Well, yeah, and they played awful against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Remember, that was an ugly football game, and they didn't deserve to be there, Mike.
Yeah, no question about it.
I think I agree with you 100%. Alabama was the, you know, I'm not saying that they would have been the #1 team out there. They lose to Auburn. They didn't play well against LSU or Mississippi State, but they won those 2.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't pass the eye test on that. But the fact is, they got in. They still got a chance to win it. And Saban's got a great track record. When you play him twice, particularly if you beat him once, you better hold on.
Yeah, no question about it.
Everything he knows at you.
Well, of course, we got through last night, Florida A&M, and did that surprise you that Florida Atlantic is they're going to every rich guy down there and telling them to give them $1 million so they keep the football coach?
And that's going to be hard to do, Mike. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And he may stay 1 more year, but see, remember most of the big jobs are already filled now.
Yeah.
So
Troy dodged a bullet. Going to be able to keep Brown for another year, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, I do.
But he might end up making $1 million out of it, don't you think?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's win-win for Neil.
Yeah, I know it exactly. But
you know, and Troy fans ought to be extremely pleased and happy. He's got that program to that level right now.
Yeah.
And the fact is, he's going to return. Come get 1 more year at least, maybe more.
And of course, he's a great guy, and everybody loves him around these parts, I know. And of course, boy, we've still got a lot of great games to play. And starting tonight with Louisiana Tech and SMU, but we've got a lot of great football games. And of course, I know you're excited about watching some of these teams. Probably out of all the games that are going to be played, other than the Big 4, who do you think is going to be a great game?
I think Auburn's going to have their hands full, Mike. I really do. For one reason, I think Auburn has worked so hard now. You know, they had all the turmoil about Gus's contract. They got that settled. And they were able to keep most of all their coaches, I guess. All the assistant coaches stayed in place.
Yeah.
But this team they played in Central Florida presents a different problem for them. They had seen. That's just pure raw speed. And I think they'll have to get to. They're going to have to play pass defense. They're going to have to rush 3 and drop 8 a lot of times in this ball game. They're going to throw that ball. Scott Foster will throw it 40 times.
Yeah. And they're located, you know, and people say, well, it's a different league. Well, let me tell you, when it comes to scoring, it's a different thing. I mean, they're going to have to outscore this bunch. This bunch is going to score points.
They are. Auburn's going to have to run the foot. See, that's worries a little bit about it. You know, what the condition of Kerryon Johnson is. Can they run the football? If they can run the football.
And keep it away from that bunch.
Right. They keep the offense on the sideline, see. They can maintain that and they can win the ball game. But if they go out there and try to outscore them, I think it can be a guy that can run a 4.3 can run a 4.3.
That's right.
Every football field's still 100 yards long.
Exactly.
That's what they got to work for.
And how many teams do you play in Division I that averaged over 50 points a game?
None.
Yeah, I mean, that's a something. It's going to be a great game, and I think Auburn folks better make some noise to get these guys fired up.
Yeah, I think it's they're going back to the Peach Bowl to play that in Atlanta. I think there'll be an Auburn crowd there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I do think Auburn has to be careful on that one. They got to go in there and play. Then another one I really want to watch is LSU and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think LSU's got their program headed in the right direction. They're still a ways away yet, but they got a chance to have a 10-win season.
I don't know a lot of people that would like to play LSU. Do you? Because one thing about it, you're going to be hitting the mouth over and over and over. And once they get some offense, look out. They could be as good as anybody, don't you think?
And I don't think there's any doubt about that, Mike. They got Edmonds going to play his last ball game, but they'll have a new quarterback this year. The offensive front will be back. They played three pure freshmen this year for the offensive line, so all that maturity will start to come back the next year. The quarterback situation, and we don't know about guys, he's probably going over to the NFL, but they've got a couple other young running backs, but they've got to throw the football better than they have to balance that offense. And I don't know what the offensive coordinator, Kevin, the word I've heard that he may be looking for another job.
Yeah.
He didn't quite fit in with those runs. So, I think there's some opportunities there for them to be better, but they got to work at it.
You look at these guys that are hard-nosed. I mean, coaches. Orgeron is definitely one, and of course Saban's one. You look at Georgia, and you look at Clemson. All of them are coached by guys that if you got them in a street fight, you'd almost have to kill them to get rid of them. You know what I mean? That's the kind of guys that you're dealing with. I mean, they're that kind of competitors.
Yeah, rarely you don't see it. You see Oregon sometimes get there. And I just use that as the other side of the coin. You see them get there, but they don't win the national championship. Those guys you mentioned right now, they instill that desire to win more so than that big time finesse guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Finesse programs will look good on the field, and they score a lot of points sometimes, but when it gets down to the trenches, that's 3rd and 2 inside the 5. That's when you got to step it up and step up that helmet.
You notice all these good jobs. Of course, the Tennessee job went to a guy that was a defense coordinator at Alabama. Most all of the good jobs are going to guys that are defensive people. Like Smart and
you got to stop from losing before you win.
Yeah. So it's Frost, of course, is a great offensive guru. That's going to Nebraska, and he'll turn Nebraska around probably in a hurry. But most of the guys that everybody wanted were defensive, hard-nosed people.
Yeah, they do. And then the next step, that's what I'm watching now, is who these guys like the Jimbo Fishers of the world, the Dan Mullins go to Florida, these guys, who do they surround themselves with? What does Pruitt do about an offensive coordinator? He missed out on the guy at LSU that was going to be the recruiting guru.
Yeah.
He turned his job down. So, there's some things I think you really have to watch to see, who those head guys surround themselves with, because who gave the won and lost? Certainly by the content that the head guy has, but the day-by-day working development of those programs comes from the assistant coaches.
Yeah. We appreciate Max Howell calling in this morning. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A.
Troy Cable is the leader in smart home security, giving you solutions to monitor, protect, and automate your home. Troy Cable Security keeps your property safe with 24/7 professional monitoring and emergency response. Control thermostats and lighting remotely, which allow options for saving energy and money. Control access to your home remotely with integrated controls for door locks. You can even add our smart home cameras, which allow you to see what you care about instantly. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Napa know-how. Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time. Know-how, Napa know-how.
Back to our show,
Troy
brought to you by
Cable
Troy Regional Medical Center right here in Troy, one of the great local hospitals in Alabama. Bill Jackson Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick located on Highway 231 right here in Troy. And, of course, want to mention our good friends at located over on Church Street this morning, Cakes by Joyce. And she's, I know, getting ready for a big holiday season. And Max, I'm going to put you on hold 1 minute. I'll be right back with you.
All right.
We're going to touch base with Joyce this morning at 566-7308. And we're going to see what's going on in the kitchen over at Joyce's Cakes by Joyce on Church Street right here in Troy.
Hello?
Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. How you doing?
Fine.
Okay, is Joyce in? we might have got the wrong number. Okay, let's go to another number here. 566-7308. Let's see if we can get her real quick.
You have entered has not.
Got to dial 9. All right, here we go here. 566-7308. Hopefully this is the number. Now wait, watch it be 670. All right, nobody's answering down at Cakes by Joyce. Back to Max Howell this morning, and of course, remember, they've got cinnamon rolls and they've got the wonderful wedding cookies. Max, we've got a place here called Cakes by Joyce that has the best homemade cinnamon rolls you've ever put in your mouth.
Wow, that's good. Hey, Troy's had some great ones, Sister Schubert's.
Yeah, that's right.
Go down the list. You got some people that come out there in Troy, Alabama that you cook, Mike.
And of course, hey, they'll be baking cinnamon rolls, cinnamon cream rolls, peanut butter rolls, man, and the best wedding cookie you've ever eaten in your life. And of course, I want to mention also Whaley Pecan Company right here in Troy. And their gift store is outstanding. And of course, chocolate covered peanuts, or pecans, just wonderful pecan products at their store right here on Pecan Street, just off of South Brunny Street. Max Howell's our guest. And Max, I know you had to be proud of the Trojan Nation. You know, it would have been embarrassing if we hadn't brought some folks, and we did, didn't we?
I think so, Mike. It was really refreshing to see the number of people that made the trip down, and you pulled them from everywhere. I followed that on Facebook and certainly watched the ball game and all the response that came after that, and certainly Troy should be proud of the way that program was supported in New Orleans.
So it looked good on TV, and you were proud of them. You were proud to say that's my team. Is that right?
Absolutely. I remember, Mike, when people want to know what time the game started. They called it off. We said, "What time do you get here?"
Yeah.
The numbers were very sparse in the early days.
And if you'll think about it, Max, we played at 12 o'clock noon on national TV. Of course, it was good national exposure because we were the first game and only game out there. But if we would have played at 7:30, think about how many people would have been at that game.
Yeah,
Don't you? I mean, what I'm saying, we played at noon. It was great to play, period. But hey, wouldn't it have been a great deal if you'd had a 7:30 kickoff?
That would have been super duper. But those are the little things. You know how television dictates now. When you play, and basically who you play sometimes, and that gets to pick up those big checks. So all in all, I think really that Troy came out way ahead, Mike. Not only for the national exposures you just mentioned, the amount of money that will come back to the university from that bowl game, and certainly the fan support. And I think they're off and running for another great year.
Well, I think people around the country have finally realized where Troy, Alabama is, and the program that we have here. I was Sound of the South marching band. It was just unbelievable how powerful it was to play that, for that band to play in the Superdome. With the acoustics in the Superdome, and they were just outstanding. And it took 9 busloads of them, but all of them were there.
I know. I could see Johnny Long was there.
Yeah, and of course we could be so proud of what was going on, and of course Max is very well known in so many circles, and I know you hear it from a lot of your colleagues that know about you and your Troy heritage. It had to make you feel good.
It really did, Mike. And I can say we talked about it so many times over the past year on your show. I've been very blessed in my career. I think we were there. I was there during that transition to where Troy has.
That's right.
And I take a lot of pride in that. And in fact, I'm still texting back and forth to guys like Rusty Mathers and Johnny Coward and Vince Green and those guys, and really thanking them for that opportunity, Mike, to help make that transition.
No question about it. What I hope Troy will do in the future, and of course in the Sun Belt, and people say, well, gosh, why do you stay in the Sun Belt? Well, I think we wore the Conference USA out pretty good, at least on that first day. But hey, let me tell you, Troy's the Sun Belt's a good position for Troy because they've got 5 bowl outlets. And if you go to a bowl every year, Max, you couldn't have a better reward than to go to a bowl game.
That is true. I've seen a lot of people. That's great for the fan base to do, Mike. But let me tell you, what the most important part of that is that extra practice time.
Oh yeah.
The team see that if you don't go to a bowl game, you don't get it. Your season's over at the last game. And I think so many times a lot of coaches get so caught up in that. Winning is still very important. We know that. But, a lot of guys lose their focus about trying to get that left tackle ready for next year.
Exactly.
Or he's looking at, a running back that's got to develop some, usually a couple of weeks to work on his skills. All of that goes into it. But don't ever forget why you're going. It's because it's a reward for your year, and also you get a chance to get some more exposure, which helps in recruiting.
And, of course, everybody's proud. And what I hope we'll do in the future is for every former football program that was successful is to bring their group back to every bowl game and have sort of a reunion for all these teams at the bowl game every year. I think it'd make for a great setting.
That would be super, Mike, and that's a new project you can help create right there.
I bumped into a guy the other day, and I want to know if this name rings a bell to you. I don't know if you coached him. I don't think you did, but you definitely knew who he was. His name was Sullivan Walker.
I remember the name.
The great one out of Jeff Davis High School that went to Auburn and transferred to Troy and played 2 great years here. We were talking about a game that he played in that was just unbelievable. We went to northern Michigan, and that's as far as you can go. Marquette, Michigan, in this United States of America, far north. Well, they had a real good team, and Coach Bradshaw was their coach, Troy's coach. The score at the half was 42-0 Troy, and Sullivan Walker had scored something like 4 touchdowns in the first half. I mean, you get your dose of those guys up there in the frigid part of the country, and then this team from the way south. Everybody said, well, those country boys won't be able to stand this ice and this cold. Well, they scored 42 points in the first half.
Well, I think looking forward, Troy's got a great opportunity with both year.
Boy, and I tell you what, you know,
a packed house for that ball game.
that should be the largest crowd in Troy history, and of course the new edition will be available. I hope you'll go ahead and make your plans to be there.
I'm making plans now to be there for that one, Mike. I really am.
I'll tell you this, you talking about a class program and a class coach. Ever since that game, I've kept up with Boise. This guy at Boise, this head coach, is a premium football coach that's going to win, and he did a great job with Boise.
Yeah, they did. And they've had a great tradition there. You know, Coach Peterson was there before we went to Washington, and he was there, 12, 13 years or so.
Exactly.
He actually put that program, on the map. He did the same thing at Boise that Neil Brown was doing at Troy now.
Yeah.
They played the big guys, and they knocked them off from time to time. And if they lost one, that'd be the only game they lost to a Southern Cal or UCLA. They'd win 11 more. And I think that's exactly where Neil's got the Troy program. I'm happy to see him step out and take on people like that. Opening ball game coming across country, that would be a not bad drag out that night.
All right, Max, this is what I wanted to touch base with you on more than anything is Troy has a very good chance of finishing in the top 25 in America. What do you think?
I think they do. I really do. I think you go back and look and see some of the teams that that they were able to get by. The big LSU win was huge for them.
Of course, the South Alabama game was not good for them, but then to come back and beat LSU, that made it even bigger, though, didn't it?
And they end up winning 11. They played Clemson very well. I think certainly they're top 25. I think, Mike, the eye test got them in the top 25. The way they performed in that bowl game, certainly come away with a win on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Those voters, I'm telling you, those voters, I forget how many voters that voted that for the coaches poll and the USA Today poll. But those guys watch those games, and they put a lot of credence in what they call the eye test. How did they look in their win?
No question.
They looked extremely good, and I think that's why I think they got a possibility in the top 20.
I was going to go down this list. Of course, this would probably be our last time we'll talk until the next year sometime. But because I think we'll both be at different places. But I was looking at these some of the big games down the stretch. One of them is Louisville and Mississippi State. With the Mississippi State's quarterback hurt, Max, I don't see them. I look at Louisville winning that game. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the speed of Lamar Jackson is going to pose a big-time problem for the defense. And, of course, Mike, not only is a quarterback hurt, but Dan Mullen's now going to Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That staff. They got Greg Knox stayed as an interim coach. He's going on to Florida himself to join Dan Mullen. So I think all of the confusion. I watched a little bit of the highlights of the sports report last night coming from Starkville, and they're all excited. They had their last day on campus yesterday. They both break for Christmas. They leave Christmas morning, headed to Jacksonville to play. So I agree with you. I like Louisville in there, and I think it'll be a good ball game. But I think Louisville's got too much speed for Mississippi State.
I'll tell you, a huge mismatch to me is the Liberty Bowl with Memphis 10-2, and this guy at Memphis is the guru, and they score a ton of points against Iowa State. I don't see much of a game there. Do you?
No, I don't. I thought he would probably make a move this past year, but there's some other things I think got involved. He signed a new extension in Memphis, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, no question.
And here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize. 8 or 9 of those kids on that Memphis roster. I'm talking about the starters are from Texas. He goes into Texas and finds those kids that don't go to Texas or to Texas A&M, and he's able to offer them a chance to come to Memphis, and he's put together a good program there.
Let me put you on hold a minute, Max. Be right back with you. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Morning.
Mike Amos calling in from Birmingham. What's going on with you?
Well, it's pouring down raining, and must be 40, 50 mile per hour winds.
Oh man, that's rough, isn't it? So it's not. So right now the weather's not very conducive for outdoor activity. Then is that right?
That's right. It's an early signing day today for Troy University, so I don't know how many guys will sign today or how many guys will wait until February. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. A lot of these coaches are upset about this early signing and recruiting and trying to get ready for a bowl game. So.
Okay. Call me back in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Okay.
Back to Max Howell, and we're talking about some of these great games coming up for all of us to get excited about. One of them is in the Fiesta Bowl, Washington 10-2 against Penn State, 10-2. Boy, this is one of those shoot-into games, man.
Well, it is, and both of them. Washington was in there, made the playoffs last year, but again, there's a finesse program going against probably one of the better running backs in the country. Their offensive coordinator has already left. By the way, their quarterback coach has already left Penn State. He's in Starkville now.
Okay.
So that's where Moorhead came from.
See, that's where people are saying, who is this guy Moorhead? But he came from Penn State, didn't he?
He did. The only part of the transition he's got to do, Mike, he can't go up there and bring all the assistants from the north. He's got to have some contacts in the
That's
south.
right. He sure does.
That's the whole key. He did take Mark Husband. It was a
Yeah, and he got fired, and he took Hudspeth as his offensive guy, or who?
Yeah, they brought him as a wide receiver coach.
Okay.
He left Mississippi State to go there to take the head football job. Now he's back there. That'll help him in the South recruiting. But he brings an offensive coordinator from Fordham, the head coach.
Oh man.
Both guys.
Yeah.
You know yourself about this part of the country. If those kids in the Mississippi Delta, if they call them up, they got their hard
I know it.
accent.
I know it. Hey, Daddy, some crazy guy from up north's calling me.
Exactly right.
All right, Wisconsin and Miami.
Yeah.
Wisconsin should handle Miami, but I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I think they're more mature right now.
But
Mark's done a good job in there, but these kids are young. Most of those guys that played are
well, Miami Gardens is a pretty good place for them to play. It's like a home field, isn't it?
It is a home field advantage for them. But you know what, Mike? That's a small private school. They don't get a lot of fans.
No, they don't really. They really don't, do they?
No, 25 or 30,000 that's a big crowd for them.
Well, in fact, Wisconsin's liable to bring more folks than they do. Don't you think?
They may very well do so. I mean, they want to escape that north and get out to South Florida.
That's right.
For vacation.
All right, here's your number one games, your January 1st games, Michigan and South Carolina. I can't see that be much of a fun game to watch. I can't see South Carolina beating Michigan. What do you think?
Well, see, I don't know. It depends on which Michigan, plays, which team shows up.
Yeah. One thing about it, Max, they play at 11 a.m. in the morning. Who wants to play football that early?
Well, that's the luck of the draw.
That's right, yeah. And then, bless Auburn's heart, they play at 11:30. I mean, coming in off New Year's Eve.
Like they've had 2 or 3 weeks to get ready for it. Every practice has been at 11:30.
And that game will be at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Should be a fun trip for Auburn folks, don't you think?
I don't think so. It'll be an Auburn crowd there. Central Florida won't bring them. They won't travel that
Oh,
far.
not at all. They won't. They probably don't have much of a fan base yet.
That's very true. That's almost a commuter school anyway.
And then again, I mean, how do they expect, Max? How do they expect to play for them to have any TV watchers when Notre Dame plays LSU at noon in Orlando?
Right. See, that's another thing that's going to be a detriment to them. But the fact is, they went undefeated this year. Scott Frost has already resigned. He's going to Nebraska. There's a lot of things that it's a plus and a minus for them. But Auburn, they still got the skill players. And Scott Frost is going to coach that football team. He's back to coach the team, even though he's taking the Nebraska job.
Let me tell you something that bothers me a little bit about this. Why on earth has this great fullback, Pentway, what's his name?
Fairway.
Yeah, Pedway. Why hasn't he played? You would think he would be well by now.
Well, it's more than just a physical movement.
I'm wondering about it.
Problems. He had a lot of other problems that never made the public.
Okay.
He's not on the roster now.
Okay, he's not even on the roster now?
No, he's
So he's heading to the NFL, is that right?
getting right. Yes. Like I say, he's had some other problems. He'd have been
Boy, they'd have been hard to beat with him, both those backs, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, well, he and Kerryon Johnson, that was a tandem that you'd be hard pressed.
Yeah, no question.
So I think now what's going to have to happen is, depends on what Johnson's status is, and then what about the one or two young kids they're going to put in there? They're not going to get many snaps, Mike. They're going to get 4 or 5 snaps apiece, but 10 snaps to relieve Johnson and still can throw the ball down the field. Got a chance.
Yeah, you're right. I like Auburn in this game, because there's so many people saying UCF's undefeated. Well, they hadn't played an Auburn defense yet either.
You're right. That's a great assessment. But here's the other side. They gonna get in the shotgun, and those front four by the fourth quarter, it's gonna be rushed that pass for 40 times.
That's right.
And it depends the depth of what Auburn can do on the depth wise.
They better have a lot of people rushing the passer, aren't they?
They're gonna have to rotate them in and out. They really are.
Now, Max, here's where the whole scenario stops. I gave you all those early kickoffs. Now, the games that the NCAA wants you to watch is the Rose Bowl from Pasadena. And why on earth do they play the Rose Bowl at 5:10? That features Oklahoma and Georgia from the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, and that parade. Max, explain to them how important the parade is to college football and to the network.
Well, more so than the network.
So during that period where they have the parade, nobody's watching football, they're watching the parade, are they?
And seeing that brings a whole different audience than the football people. That brings the wives and the kids and a lot of other people in that aren't maybe not be big-time college football fans. And that's about just remember they're 2 hours, Mike. They're 2 hours behind us too, so that's a 3 o'clock kickoff out there.
No question about it, and that's why they did it. And of course, that kickoff's at 4:10 on ESPN, and then Alabama and Clemson again at 7:45, prime time football. Alabama's in the best situation they can possibly be in. Don't you agree?
Well, they are. I don't think there's any doubt. Their opponents, the best they could have chosen. The time that they play and the location in the Sugar Bowl.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, that's built for an Alabama win. And then of course I really deep down believe Oklahoma's going to beat Georgia in this one.
Yeah.
And that means the Alabama-Oklahoma matchup.
No question about it. I look at Oklahoma and Georgia being a shootout unless Georgia, the only chance they got is to run the football and keep it away from Oklahoma.
You're right. That's exactly right, Mike. That's all. That's the only. I think that's the only chance they got. Mainly because Oklahoma puts points on the board.
I'm gonna put you on hold one more time. Hold on 1 minute. Good morning. You're on Today in LA. How you doing? Hello. Hello. Back to Max Howell, and of course, Max. This time of year, of course, with football and going on, and all your buddies are wanting you to cook for them. Of course, Max Howell, not only known as a football prognosticator, but he's also one of the great cooks in the country. And your cookbook, has it sold a lot this Christmas?
Mike, I'm out. So I maybe order one for you.
Okay.
I've got one more I'm working on. I'm going to get it out this next year. It's going to be a coffee edition, to be a big edition. I've got the insides already good.
All right. We're having a little bit of problem with your phone this morning. Right now, it was fine earlier. Are you back now? Good.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. Max Howell, of course, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's been waiting for me to ask you this very personal question, Max. What's for dinner? And we're talking about noonday on Christmas.
Man, I'm going to do that tradition.
Supper is a night meal with me and you, but dinner is what's going to happen Monday at noon.
Well, Monday at noon is going to be a traditional. That's going to be turkeys. I'm going to deep fry one. I'm going to do a traditional turkey out of the oven. I do a 12-hour, 200-degree turkey right out of the freezer, Mike. Then I'm going to take the...
Now, that is unusual. Now, you're going to just stick that turkey. Now, you're going to baste the turkey, or what are you going to do with it? We're talking about a frozen turkey. Tell us about it.
I'm going to baste it with butter and black pepper, and I'm going to tighten it up really tight with tin foil. I'm going to put it in the oven the night before.
And this is a frozen turkey.
And it's going to be 200 degrees for 12 hours. Then I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to open the tin foil up. I'm going to put it back on broil for 4 or 5 minutes just to brown it. Then depending on when we eat on the lunch meal, sometimes some groups will eat around 10:30, 11. Some will eat to 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
That's right, yeah.
You know, you tighten it back up and you put your oven on roll and you leave it there. You don't take the drippings out, but then if you're going to leave it back there, you don't want it to dry out. And then I'm going to have my traditional sides. You know, I'll do a sweet potato casserole. I'll do a green bean casserole, Congealed salad. We'll have homemade rolls on the side for that. Of course, we're going to have a big old picture of sweet iced tea.
Well, I tell you something that you and I were talking about the other day was ambrosia. You know, how many times do you get ambrosia?
Oh, man. And listen, my mom, that was one of my favorites. My mom had 2 desserts, or 1 salad and 1 dessert. The ambrosia was called a salad.
Oh, yeah.
She made that with oranges and home ground coconut.
That's right.
Cherries. I mean, it was really good. And then the other was a homemade fruit cake. And that was long before Claxton ever came in.
Oh, yeah.
To provide the fruit cake. She made hers at Thanksgiving, wrapped it in cheesecloth, put a cup of bourbon in it, put it in the closet, and it stayed in the dark for 30 days before we took it out.
All right, now you claim you make real good dressing. Well, only my mama and sister's restaurant right here in Troy knows how to make real dressing. How do you make your dressing moist? The worst thing in the world is dry dressing.
No, I'm not a dry dressing guy now. I'm gonna put line the bottom of mine with butter. Mine's gonna be rich. It's gonna be traditional dressing. The ingredients gonna be cornbread and celery and a little onion.
Now you make your own cranberry sauce, don't you?
And I make my own cranberry sauce, but also I make a side dressing too, Mike. I do an oyster dressing on the side.
Oh boy.
And I'm telling you.
You can have all the oyster dressing you want. Give me just the regular dressing.
Well, I serve both, see, and I do both. See,
sure. Oh yeah, I understand.
You know, mine is a favorite, and I don't change it a lot. I use traditional ingredients for the base. Then I take in those little cans of oysters, I'll take the juice and pour over that.
Yeah.
About a dozen or 12, 14 oysters on the top. Put it back in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Kind of brown the oysters on top and let that juice really be absorbed by that dressing.
Oh boy.
Sit on the oven, on top of the oven up there, let it kind of moist.
Yeah. You know, some people have said, boy, that sounds good. Boy, that sounds good. And then I'm sitting over here saying, hey, give me the regular dressing.
And then I'm going to top it off with that homemade cranberry sauce.
Yeah. Well, and of course, Max Howell is known throughout this part of the country as being the great cook to go with the prognosticator. Now, okay, now you're going to, for your dessert, what are you going to do?
Man, I do at least 2. Sometimes I do 3 desserts. I do just a regular potato or a pumpkin pie, depending on what they want. I do a pecan pie. Do it from scratch. I do both of those. And then usually those people that really want a traditional, I'll bring out that fruit cake. My mom gave me that secret recipe.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll have to cut. A lot of people don't like the candied fruit, but it's different. It's different if you homemade make it. Now, very few people will do that anymore.
With the real ingredients, yeah.
And exactly right. And then it has to sit up. It's got to sit up and let those flavors go together. And it has to be moist. It cannot be dry.
Well, what time in the morning are you going to have to get up to start getting ready for all this?
Well, it depends on when they eat. I done the day before, Mike, and I'll get up about 6 and I'll start.
You gonna have any homemade eggnog anywhere?
Well, occasionally, yeah. A lot of my guys will do that. But the drinks, anything beyond iced tea, they bring their own.
Well, I tell you what, it sounds like it's great. And Max, I tell you, you don't know how much we've enjoyed having you on our show during this football season, and I hope to talk to you after the first of the year. And hey, you got a lot of family coming in, or what's your plan?
I'm on the road, man. I got friends up here I'm going to spend Christmas Day with, and that afternoon I'm on the road. My kids are all be at the beach down at Gulf Shore, and I'll be down there at Christmas night, and I'll stay 3 or 4 days with them.
Now, Max, everybody wants to know, and they see you, and you look the same as you've always looked. You stay in great shape. How do you have time to work out? When do you work out usually?
Well, I got 2 or 3 days a week, Mike. I spend about 30 minutes. I do just a little light weights, and I usually walk 2 to 3 miles a day.
So you don't really pump heavy weights. You do just repetition, don't you?
I do cardiovascular. I do a lot of light weights, a lot of stuff. But here's the main thing, Mike. I watch what I eat. I don't overeat anymore. And all the stuff we talk about, that's the stuff I'll prepare. But you'll be amazed at what I put on my plate.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it always tastes better later on that night.
It does. Absolutely right, Mike. Absolutely does.
Well, I tell you what, you're a good friend, and this show is so proud to have you be a part of it every Wednesday. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, my friend.
Mike, same to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's been my pleasure. And we'll crank it back up sometime. We'll talk a little recruiting along.
Okay.
I'll pop in on you from time to time later this spring.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Max Howell. Max Howell, ladies and gentlemen, and of course to have him for an hour is pretty good right here on our show, and of course a very knowledgeable college football guy, and great guy. You know, he loves to cook and eat and have fun just like everybody else, and his menus and his cookbook has been sold out for a while now. And let's see, I must be dialing wrong here. Let's see here. Let's go 670. 670 73.
The number you have entered.
Well, you know, I might better put on my glasses first. And of course, this show is brought to you by Trojan Auto Parts on South Brundage Street, and got a lot of great gift ideas. How about a gift card from Trojan Auto Parts right here in Troy? Let's see if we can go here with a 670 7308 and calling my dear friend. And now I know their phones are quite busy this time of morning. Good morning. You're on today in L.A. How you doing?
Morning.
Mike Amos calling to you from rainy Birmingham. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not raining in Troy.
No. Well, I hadn't looked out the door since 6:30, but I don't know. It was sort of misty, wet looking, sort of dreary. And my wife said, "Oh, I hate the way it looks." But what do you think my answer would have been?
I have no idea.
I love overcast weather during the holiday season. I love it.
Yeah,
I love the warmth of a home and people enjoying being inside together, you know.
It's going to get up to 70 degrees today, though.
All right, tell me about Birmingham and Christmas Day. What's the forecast? I keep hearing it on the news.
43 degrees and 22 is the low.
22 is the low. Wait a minute. The high on Christmas morning is 43, and the low is 22?
Yeah, it's Christmas Day.
Are you going to have snow?
No, I don't think the snow. I don't think that's going to happen now. They did mention that earlier.
Yeah, that's what we had heard, and of course it's going to be a cold day in Birmingham. Then is that right?
Yeah, but no white Christmas.
No white Christmas. Why can't we have a white Christmas?
I tell you what, the basketball team was up by 11 in the second half against Austin Peay last night.
And lost the game.
On the way to lose. I tell you what, this is going to be a devastating season. This is supposed to be the best team we probably ever had, coming off an NCAA tournament appearance, and you lose one great player, Bernardo, and it's just a totally different team.
Is he coming back, or is he out for the year?
You said he was out for the year.
Well, I've said that, but I've heard people say that he might be back, but you're right. Now the meat of the schedule doesn't start until the 31st, which is New Year's Eve.
The 29th, they play Georgia Southern.
All right, we'll play Georgia Southern in Troy on the 29th, and we play. We have another game. I think at Georgia State on New Year's Eve. Is that right?
I believe so.
Both games played, and those are two huge conference games. And of course, that's what counts is the conference games and how well you do in those conference games.
Yeah, Troy plays a game against some school I've never heard of in Dothan on, I think.
Yeah, Milligan College, and they play tomorrow night in Dothan from the Civic Center.
I think, yeah, was it going to be Thursday night?
Yeah, I think so, Thursday night. And of course, we were going to have a campfire up on the hill Thursday night if weather is going to hold up for us, you know.
Of course, Alabama survived Mercer last night. Alabama was up by 6 points with 11 seconds left.
And Mercer almost beat them?
And turned the ball over 3 times in a row, and Mercer had a shot at the buzzer.
Isn't that amazing?
A really good shot that fell off the rim. Troy got beat by Mercer by 2 points in the exhibition game to start the season. And then that team Troy played North Dakota had Gonzaga, who's ranked 12th the other night. I think they were up by 10 with 3 minutes left, went to overtime. So Troy's played some really good teams this year, but they don't get Bernardo back. I just don't know how they can win more than, you know.
Of course, Auburn beat Murray State, and Auburn, how good is, compare Auburn and Alabama right now?
I mean, Auburn's playing phenomenal basketball. They're 10-1. I mean, they hadn't played the schedule Alabama's played, but I mean, if they had Wiley and Purefour.
You mean they're playing without those 2 guys?
Yeah, because of the FBI investigation checked first. Those guys got suspended by the NCAA, so they don't know if they're going to be able to come back or not. If Wiley didn't come back, he'll just go pro.
Yeah.
You know, he's 6'11 and a half.
And but he's just a young guy, though, isn't he?
Well, he's a sophomore.
Oh, man. And he's already got a pro career looking at him.
Well, I mean, you know, especially if the NCAA doesn't grant his eligibility back.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, but
the best lock of the year was the bowl matchup last night between Florida Atlantic.
What was that line on that?
Florida Atlantic and Akron. Akron had already been destroyed by Toledo in their championship game. The line was 24, and Florida Atlantic beat them 50-3.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, no question.
The question is will they rank Florida Atlantic at 11-3, or will they rank Troy at 11-2?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Is Troy going to make the top 25, and it could come down between them. You know, you never can tell which way these guys are going to go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I hope Troy will make the top 25.
Thursday against Milliken, 29th against Georgia Southern, and then Georgia State on the 31st. So that's 2 great games at Trojan Arena. But unfortunately, the students will be out. Attendance will probably be really bad for all those games.
Yeah. You know, 2 coaches' sons last night played. Terry Bowden, of course, the son of Bobby Bowden, coach at Akron, and Kiffin, Lane Kiffin, the son of Monty Kiffin, the great defensive coordinator, were both coaches, legends. But I'll tell you this right now, Bowden might have lost his magic. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, it's just hard to win at Akron, though. I mean, just think of the athletes that Florida Atlantic has compared to what you'll get up in Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, no question about it.
I'm sure they recruit hard in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, all the Bowdens do. But, I mean, Florida Atlantic, you know, the big news yesterday is Kiffin signed a 10-year contract to stay down there, which I think is absurd. There's no way he's going to stay down there for 10 years. But I guess it's just one of those things that looks good as far as recruiting goes.
What is their what would you say that their buyouts going to be? Because you know somebody's coming after them. It might be a money thing. Might be a money maker for Florida Atlantic. Think about it.
Well, you know, that's what Troy's got to factor in with Neil Brown too. I think they probably need to, you know, definitely up his salary and then put a big buyout in, because once you get the buyout, you're pretty much getting your money back for your coach.
You know something I was going to tell you this morning. You know, Brown could be Troy's first $1 million man. You know, I don't know what. You know, I'm sure he's going to get a huge increase in salary.
I don't think he's getting to $1 million, but you know, Lane Kiffin makes $950,000. I think they can probably get him to $900,000 maybe.
Which that would be, you know, in layman's terms, right at $1 million. Hudspeth, the other millionaire coach in the Sun Belt Conference at Louisiana Lafayette, was fired, and now I noticed that he's a assistant coach now at Mississippi State.
Yeah, well, you know, he coached at Mississippi State before, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, of course, right now we look.
There's an article that came out yesterday. Is Russ Probst's going to go to coach with Pruitt at Tennessee? So that'd be interesting. Russ Probst finally left high school ball and finally got a shot in college. I'd like to see it. Well,
he could have got our guy over at Middle Tennessee State probably just as easy, couldn't he?
Who, Tony Franklin?
Yeah. I bet he's getting pro so he'll be able to recruit Georgia, I bet. Don't you agree?
I mean, I think that would help. I mean, nothing's finalized yet, but, you know, Pruitt was his defense coordinator when he was at Hoover.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I know the rest of the story. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Pruitt hired Todd Watson from Troy as well. He's at Tennessee now.
Todd Watson, he was our football operation coach, a young guy, and I like him too.
Well, he used to be the head coach at Foley.
I didn't know that. Oh yeah, Coach Watson. Yeah, so he's gone.
Yeah, to Tennessee.
Well, I hate to see it, but he's a fine man, and I hate to see him and his family leave. And of course,
there's gonna be a lot of people coming after Vic Conan. Hopefully, Troy bump up his salary.
Yeah, I know it. Of course, Vic Conan, Mike, something I noticed, man, that they were so impressive on defense. In that ball game, even though they gave up 30 points, I mean, 2 of them were just.
Let's don't count one touchdown when
I know.
Snaps at 20 yards over our guy.
I know it. I wonder what was wrong with what happened to our center on that play.
Yeah, that should be a rule. They should adjust that when a pick six, when the offense commits a turnover and turns into a touchdown. How's that the defense's fault?
Yeah, no question about it. We're going to take a short break, Mike. We'll be right back. We're brought to you by Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. And also want to mention our good friends at Sister's Restaurant on the bypass right here in Troy. And, of course, Hook's Barbecue. All would have great gift cards for Christmas. Just drop by and pick them up today. And, again, we appreciate all of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Quezon to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a Smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
Come into Road Mart locations near you for the Firestone Summer Sale, like this Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 Series. Impressive handling in wet and dry conditions. Or the Destination LE2 Series gives your truck or SUV come onto the road with comfort. And the Firestone Champion with Fuel Fighter technology. Purchase 4 eligible tires and receive a $60 prepaid Visa card. It gets better. If you pay with a new or existing CFNA credit card, get an additional $30 rebate. Now at Road Mart locations near you.
Back to our show, brought to you by Troy Nissan on the bypass, and looking for a great deal on a Nissan car, truck. Believe you me, Troy Nissan is ready. Trojan Detail, you need your car wash or a good gift certificate for a great car wash and detail. Drop by Troy, drop by there today. And of course, want to mention Mike Ken Eddingfield is also leaving us as our offensive coordinator. To go to South Alabama. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good move on his part. He's accomplished everything he could accomplish at Troy, and he's got 2 of his best friends, one the head coach and one the defensive coordinator. And good for Coach Eddingfield. He served his university.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
And I hate that we'll be going against him, but that's just part of it. We already lost to South Alabama this year, and I think Campbell's going to come in and do really well. I think Jeremy McClain had to have Campbell maybe on a short list as potential hires for Troy one day when Neil Brown, will get a bigger job. We're going to get 4 years out of Neil Brown, looks like, and if you're a Troy fan, you got to just be so happy you don't know what to do. I still can't believe he didn't get a big-time job after posting these 2 amazing seasons back-to-back. So.
Well, I think his...
But Eddingfield's son, KD's on the staff as well, and I would imagine KD will probably go down there to South Alabama as well. So, I hate that Eddingfield's will be leaving Troy, but Mobile's a great place to live and not too far away from their friends that they've made up here.
Yeah, Pike Liberal Arts lost a heartbreaker last night to Glenwood, 59-57 in overtime, but a great ball game. And Pike Liberal off to a 7-5 start. Got a good basketball team. We'll be watching them closely throughout the year. Mike, I appreciate talking to you. I'm gonna see if I can get Cakes by Joyce real quick.
Yeah, Coach Dunn's supposed to be coming on tomorrow. So.
All right, good luck. Yeah, Coach Dunn will be on our show tomorrow. That'd be great.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, we're going to call our good friends at Cakes by Joyce, 7308, and we're going to talk to them a quick second. Again, their lines are off the hook, so drop by Cakes by Joyce today and take advantage of some wonderful opportunities for cinnamon rolls and those wedding cookies and all those delicious cakes and pies you can get through Cakes by Joyce, and also our delicious cheesecake. I picked up a strawberry cheesecake yesterday, and they're open until tomorrow, so try to catch up with them. Located on Church Street tomorrow, and then enjoy a delicious cheesecake from Elicious Cheesecake right here in Troy. Hope you've enjoyed our show today, and you'll watch us again today at 1:30, and we'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning for Today in LA. Have a great day, and be careful.